Time again for another installment of The Basics, and in regards to the Star Trek CCG, at some point or another I always get drawn into a debate about something in regards to the game, and today it is the usefulness of sight cards. And I've been talking about this on an internet group and we've been having a discussion, so I'm going to give you my opinion of sight cards and whether or not they are actually useful in terms of gameplay. So let's get started, shall we? Now, for those of you who are not overly familiar with sight cards or don't really use them, sight cards can either be seated or they can be placed in your hand, in your draw deck, and played during the course of the game, providing you're playing either Bajoran or Cardassian, and you're able to use Deep Space Nine / Terok Nor or a Nor or any station that can use sights. The whole purpose of sights is to report personnel for duty, complete certain tasks, and perform actions in the course of the game. And these came out with the Deep Space Nine expansion, which, as everyone knows, was a standalone expansion. It could be played by itself or added to the overall universe. My problem with sights are as follows. I might have mentioned this on a previous episode in passing of this show. They add a lot of extra things and extra time into the game that's not really necessary. I like the concept of sight cards. I actually experimented with them in a deck when Deep Space Nine first came out. Me and a couple of my friends did. And we found that above all else, while it was fun to use sights to populate our stations, mind you, one of us was playing Deep Space Nine and one of us was playing Nor, it added a lot of time onto the game because we kind of lost sight of the fact that we're there to score points and beat each other, and we were so focused on sight cards and what they were doing that we lost sight of the overall game. And some of these sight cards do different things. For example, guest quarters, you can report VIP there, and if they're unopposed, you can draw 2 cards and place one of them beneath the draw deck. If you have a science classification personnel report for duty as well as some equipment, that player can scan the bottom seed card under the mission if your station is built at a mission. So you can kind of negate or view one of the dilemmas that's seated under there to see what's going to happen. Docking pylons and docking ports, you can dock ships, repair ships. You can do many different things. It has a tractor beam. You can report ships for free. You have things like the security office and the cargo bay. You can use acquisition, smuggling, and navigation personnel. You can report for free. They can do things. Obviously, the infirmary deals with medical personnel. Ops deals with all of your officers. You can download to an unopposed site at the station. If you have computer skill matched, they can commandeer the station. That would be your opponent or someone else in another affiliation. So there's a lot of things you can see and do with sites. But again, and this is my opinion as well as some people I've played the game with over the years, it slows down the game. It adds a vast chunk of time into the game. Would I have added the sight cards in if I was Decipher? I'm not sure, because there are pros and cons, but at the same time, there are so many sites and so many things to do, and this is notwithstanding when you have the mirror universe sites come into play as well and everything that goes on there. I don't know. I honestly don't think the game needs to be made any longer than it is. And, you know, you have entities like the Continuing Committee that have gone and added more cards in these classifications and expanded on sites and facilities. And I'm not sure if I like that, because when I'm playing the game, if I have so many things that I have to start worry about managing, it gets mundane and it gets a little boring. That being said, what I think should have been done when Decipher came out with the Deep Space Nine expansion, instead of just seeding the sites under the location as well as keeping them in your draw deck, I would have rather seen them have it set in the game so that if you are building a Nor or a Deep Space Nine, or you've seeded it and you're going to use it, that you can download, say, 3 sites at a time from your hand right to the station, instead of having to put them out one at a time or wait for them to come up under the seed phase. it might have sped the game along and maybe knocked down some of the things that can be done and make it more simplistic. That way, to streamline the amount of time needed to do that in the game and not make it so mundane. Like I said, pros and cons. I like sights, but I don't like sights. And I've been playing this game long enough to know that I don't want extra time added on to the game and have to manage every little aspect that's in there. That's all for today. Have a great day, everybody.